The first time I ever had a cigar, I was 8 years old. Believe it or not, it was with my old man. It was at a time in my life when I was reaching my oats. I started getting into a lot of trouble, roughhousing around the neighborhood, and I got into a brawl. Caused me to get a black eye, and so my father came home from work. He looked at me and brought me to the back porch. I sat in one chair and he sat in the other, and he looked into my eyes and said, "So, you want to be a man?" My father had this off the boat Italian accent. And so I said, "I am a man, Pop." And so then he pulled out these two thick ass cigars. And he cut off the tips of them, lit them both, and handed me one. And he said, "Since you are a man, smoke this with me. Because a man smokes cigars." So I stood there with my father, some 15 minutes of hell because my lungs were on fire and I thought I was going to cough them out. I must have turned green, blue, orange, red, God knows 50 colors. And the whole time my father was staring at me stone-faced like he always did. And I was determined to get through this cigar, because if I didn't, that meant I wasn't a man. And, I had to show face in front of my father, so turns out I finished my cigar and I was as lightheaded as one can be, and my father puts his hands on my shoulders, these big, muscular workman's hands, the kind of hands that can crush you like an accordion. And he says, "Charlie, now that you are a man, you get to go to work." Yeah. And with that, I began working for my father. The first job I ever had doing demolition construction. I lasted one day. One day. And my father pulled me aside and asked me if I wanted to be a man. And I told him, "No, not yet." And he laughed so loud and hard. And all the other construction workers burst into laughter. And I realized I had a lot of growing up to do. I mean, it served me right. And it was a good lesson. I'll never forget that. It was the one time me and my old man had some kind of, I don't know, something.